I've got the first coat of liquid nail in there. I made it a little bit thick, and then I used my finger and pushed most of it back inside. Okay. So I even did this 2x6 here, even though I had some on the back of that. I went all the way down, and then I did up where my new stuff is, because that's bonding the 2x6 to the OSB plywood. Okay. Same thing there, all the way down. And chances are when that cures, it's going to crack a little bit, and I'll have to put another coat on there. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm going to work on this. So my next thing is taking this out. I'm going to leave the bracket there. I've got to take the screws out. There's a nail, my word. I'm going to have to cut that out. I can cut that out with my Sawzall, can't I? Cut it out and then pull it out. Take these out, pull this out. Then I have to measure from the top down 7 1/4, and it comes in here somewhere, so I've got to chop that out, and I'll use my Sawzall for that too. That's going to be kind of tricky because I'm going to be up against the stucco, but somehow I'll get it. I couldn't get my Sawzall in there, so what I did is I took my drill bit. This is all kind of corroded. I took my drill bit and drilled in there in strategic locations, and then used the side of the drill as a cutter and cut over this way, cut over that way, cut down, cut at an angle, and I got it. And I pulled all this stuff out, and I've cleaned this with the wire brush, and I'm gonna fill this up with liquid nails. Yeah, I'm just gonna fill all that stuff up with liquid nails. That's all. Before, you know, just flat, just to kind of seal up this stuff, because this 2x8 that fits down in here, I'm just going to screw it to this. I'm not going to attach it to this at all for right now. Okay, because once I put a 2x6 up along the side of this and cut it at that right angle, then with this piece coming, then I'll take another bracket on the back side. I won't even attach it to this. I'll attach it to the new 2x6. You know what I mean? Behind there, and that'll hold that. And this right here is really weak. This is really not the best, but it's there. It's holding up. It's at the right angle. Down here it's nice and solid. In fact, this whole piece is pretty solid up to this point. Okay. So, okay, little by little, I'll get her. Incidentally, I looked at this, and you might have thought, is that mold on there? No, that's not mold. I took a wire brush to it, you know, like my little mini wire brush. And remember, that was a piece of redwood that came across here. And when redwood gets wet, and when it starts dry rotting, it gets black on the backside. See there? The redwood turns black. And that's the redwood piece that I pulled out of there. And so the bit that was back in there, that just made the stucco black. Isn't that something? Okay, but to seal up the rest, I could leave this, but because I have my liquid nails and I like to use it, I'm just gonna use it. Seal that up. That's more better. Okay, now I can go ahead and measure my 2x8 from here over to there. Now see, I could do this two ways. My intent is to cut it so that it's snug over here, so that I can kind of put it into place without it falling down. But the other thing I could do is take this bracket, and I know the 2x8 is going to go from this edge over, right? See? From this edge over. So I measured over 1.5 inches, drew another line, and I could put this up there and screw that in to here. There's backing behind there, and then I could just lift the 2x6 up there and then put a screw in there. Okay? And I don't know, I might do that. I might do that, but I'm going to try to cut it tight. If I can cut it snug and kind of wedge it in there, then I can get it exactly where I want, and I can go ahead and screw that, and I can put this in there after the fact. Okay. Either way, that's the next step. Good Lord, I've got this long 2x8, and I think it's 8 feet. Yeah, it's 8 feet. And see, I only need 45. I only need 45 and 5/8 right to there. And I'm right in the middle of the board. Now, how am I going to cut this and have a nice straight cut? Because I've got lots of the weight to fall off this thing. Well, what I normally do is I'll cut it just a little bit long. I'll cut it just a little bit long, and then I'll come back and cut it. Okay? It's kind of tricky to cut the whole thing. I've got it almost all the way, because if I cut this now, the heavier side is going that way. The end of this cut, it's just going to rip the wood off. So I'm just going to cut it long. Now I can go back and do my finished cut. Just like that. Okay? And I don't, you know, when I get ready to use this next board, I'm going to have to cut it square again, and my piece only needs to be 45 inches, 45.5. So see, I can cut that straight, and then cut the rest out of my next board. Okay, there's a tip for you when you're cutting long boards. This is not by any means a heavy-duty sawzall, but it's doing the trick. It's a battery-operated one, and it goes along with my drill, and I've got a flashlight, and I've got a little saw. It's actually smaller than this. I think it's a 5-inch blade. I'm not quite sure, but this one's stronger, so I thought I would use that. And see, I've got my metal cutting blade on there. And guess what else I use that for? I use that for these notches, to finish off the notches. You know, I cut most of it with the skill saw, and then I notched the rest of it with the Sawzall, and I just used my metal cutting blade. Yeah, it worked really good. So, Ryobi. I like Ryobi. It's kind of on the cheaper side of things, less inexpensive, let's say. But they've really done the trick. I haven't seen a ratcheted type drill yet from Ryobi, but I could be wrong. I haven't looked. Like I'm liking this impact one from Bosch, and I don't know if they might have one for Ryobi now. I don't really know. I haven't looked lately, but anyways, it came with 4 things and the bag and a carrying bag, 2 chargers, 2 batteries, and 1 charger actually. And for a really super good price. And usually Father's Day you can get good deals, Christmas, New Year's. Just look around and ask. Sometimes they have them sporadically throughout the year too. So buy in bulk. That's what I do.